to That's Based. Happy Saturday. I'm your host, as always, Caleb Salvatore, reporting from somewhere underground. We're laughing our way through the end of days, brought to you by Outlaw Streamers and our friends at Blood of Tyrants Wines. DrinkBloodOfTyrants.com. Promo code BASED, B-A-S-E-D, like the title of the show. 2 types of wine and the Liquid Freedom energy drink. Let's just pretend I'm drinking one of those right now. I am here. Stockholm Mia, the red face of white supremacy, is sitting this show out. She is under the weather today. She will be back for the Monday show, though. I'm not going to guarantee it because life happens, but she will be back for the Monday show. We have got, though, Jacob Wilson sitting in with us. You know him. You love him.
My heart goes out to you.
Your heart. Make sure you're talking to the mic. Sorry, man.
Sorry. My heart goes out to you.
Yes.
My heart goes out to you.
His heart goes out to you. He is here he's one of our repeat offenders, so we like to bring him on. You guys know the drill here. That's, no, so I was telling you off the air that I made ChatGPT analyze the show. It already knew about it. Like, it knew who I am, which was kind of cool. Like, I asked it who I am, and it starts telling me all this shit about me and, like, where I stand on different issues, and that was cool. But I sent it the link, and I was like, listen to all of these and tell me what you think. So I started having it break it down. And according to ChatGPT, so it did a couple of things. You know, like I was telling you, it noted the individual named Xavier, who, in its opinion, appeared to be having a mental breakdown on the air. And then it criticized myself and Monty Scott for making fun of him. But so here, this is an honor for you. I asked it to rank everyone on the show in terms of how good of an influence they are for kids, and it ranked you number 1.
I'm here for them, man. I'm a good influence.
It said you provide an analytical approach to my more blunt and vulgarian style.
I'm just the voice of reason over here.
We're so fucked if that's the case.
The voice of reason. I think that, like, the ChatGPT, like, it'd be cool, like, actually, like, just for, like, your own argument, be like, hey, do I have any contradictions in my argument? And, like, that'd be, like, a good thing to look at, because, like, maybe it happens. You know,
I've actually used it for that, and I've also used it when I had it's not had. I have an ongoing legal issue with someone, and I have used it to check my correspondences with these people and look for, like, flaws in the logic, different ways I can polish up what I'm saying. It's not, I've softened my stance on AI, right? I don't think it is the end of mankind as we knew it, like I said a year ago. I think it can be a very useful tool. I don't know.
No, if it's used as a tool, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you use it as a tool and you don't use it as a crutch, I think it's actually really productive. So, I don't know. I like it. We got a lot to talk about this week, though. We have got, we have got the inauguration and everything going on with Donald Trump. We've got a lot of, we're going to go over what he's done so far, what he still has left to do, I've already kind of talked about what I think is going to come from Trump over the next 4 years. I did that on the Wednesday show. Go check it out if you haven't already. I'm going to ask Jacob what he thinks is going to happen over the next 4 years. We got the controversy with Elon Musk, the inauguration. We do one last glance over the Biden administration. We talk about the woke bishop. Did you see the woke bishop?
I don't pay attention to women preaching in church.
That's a good thing. You know, they shall remain silent in the church, right? We've got Trump refusing, quote unquote, refusing to put his hand over the Bible. A little bit of missed context there. We've got a new study on transgenders. And then the good folks here locally at Millard Public Schools are trying to pull a fast one on people. Have you heard about this?
I have not.
They're trying to pull a fast one on some people. We'll talk about all that and more.
I'm also not in the Millard Public School District, so it's not.
Are you OPS?
Yeah.
I'm Ralston.
Okay. I don't know. I honestly don't know what school, like, we're a part of, because we're so close to, like, Bennington, but I think my neighborhood was, like, Burke was, like, the school.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Which
all right.
I'm never going to send my kids to, but that's besides the point.
You know, never, ever. No, our kids are going to Catholic school. So, okay. Before we do any of that, though, let's hop into the current state of the left.
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
See, this is the shit that happens when Mia's not here and I have to run the soundboard myself. Well, this week on the current state of the left, we have got some very entertaining individuals here, individuals who want to be public figures, so their names were not removed from the posts. And I guess I figured we'd just read off what they said, and I'll let you guys be the judge. I'm going to put this first one here is the least extreme of the two, if that tells you anything. So here's the first one. Let me get it pulled up so I can read it where I'm sitting. Says, day one of reporting Donald Trump to the FBI over safety concerns. I'll let you know how it goes. Then he says, edit, didn't report him. But I did call. I just imagine this guy pissing down his leg. Like, oh, shit, somebody actually answered.
This is the white woman going on the Nextdoor app. There are kids playing basketball.
Yeah, exactly.
Late.
Exactly. Or calling the police, right? Yeah, this is the same thing. Says, didn't report him, but I did call and say that a lot of people are scared about him being president. I asked if they could reassure me that things will be okay, and the representative said he is not going to comment on the president, and I quote, he can do what he likes. I said, okay, well, I trust you guys will keep us protected, and left it at that. Anyways, I am probably on a list now, LMAO. Well, Austin, I think you are on a list, but it's not the list you think it is. You're probably on the list with the guy who calls twice a week about UFOs that they laugh about. And it's like, oh, that whack job's calling. So he's claiming he's going to call the FBI every single day to report Trump.
You know, like in that office with those reps, because for the most part, like these people don't necessarily care.
Right.
That number's going to pop up, and what they're going to do is go back,
it's him. Get over here. Put it on speaker. Come on. Let's go. Yeah. Because we've all worked customer service jobs where we've done that, right? Yeah. It's like as soon as the whack job calls, it's party time.
Number pops up. You're like, oh, it's them.
It's the Daily Trump Report. I mean,
yes, sir. I'm sorry. We can't do anything about it.
So here's the thing, though, is there's a difference between this guy and the UFO guy, right? The UFO guy's a lunatic. This is a guy who knows what he's doing, and he's, in my opinion, intentionally abusing law enforcement resources. I think there should be some type of, like, you're going to get a fine if you don't stop doing this kind of thing.
I bet he wanted people arrested for not wearing a mask.
Guarantee it.
Has to be that type of person.
Guarantee it. That's the same. Exactly. But also abolish the police.
Right.
But I'm going to call them on you if you have more than 7 people at your barbecue. But abolish the police, right? That's the big deal there. So we got another one here. This is my favorite one. This is from comedian Erin Clough, who we've covered extensively on this show before. In fact, we even gave her, on the New Year's Eve show, the Kavanaugh Award for the best liberal freakout. She's back here in 2025, and you know what? She's really outdone herself this time. She's really outdone herself with this most recent post, which is a screenshot that we took from her public Instagram story, which said, do the right thing. It's a picture of Barron Trump. Do the right thing, Barron. Kill your father, and you will be reincarnated as a lotus flower. Now, being the upstanding citizen that I am, I'm not going to tell you what I did, but I'll let you use your imagination as to who that was forwarded to. I did my civic duty there. Again, it's Erin Clough, Clough on Instagram. Or is it Claw?
I think Clough.
Clough?
Yeah.
Erin Clough. See, I won't even respect her by pronouncing her name correctly.
I mean, she looks like a frog, but that's...
Aside from the point.
Yeah, but it's they post this stuff thinking, I'm the resistance. I'm a rational American. This is what we do.
No, you're a lunatic.
No, you're absolutely insane. You're absolutely insane. You need to seek help. I will go, like, I will tell you straight to your face. I will tell them, like, I do not think you're sane. I do not think you should be in the public.
No.
I think you're harmful to children and to everyone around.
Make
Please
asylums
go get
great
help.
again. Make asylums great again. And that's the thing, is there are consequences for actions, and I think some folks are about to learn that. The folks that have spent the last 10 or 12 years reporting everyone to their employers for making offensive jokes on the internet. If you make a threatening social media post about the president of the United States, you are going to find out that that's a two-way street. And guess what? That comes with much more long-lasting consequences than a guy getting fired from Super Target. So,
and then she'll argue like, "Oh, it's not a threat. I'm just sharing a photo." Shut up.
Sure.
Shut up.
Sure. Okay, well, we'll let the Secret Service decide that,
Yeah.
if they so choose. Again, that's Aaron Clough, Clough. You can take the. We'll pull the screenshot up for you guys watching on YouTube and Rumble real quick if you want to take a screenshot. I'm not going to encourage anyone to report anybody or anything like that, of course, but I thought you guys might just want to see what she had to say there. Just take one more look at the post that Aaron Clough posted on her public Instagram story. It's and the thing here is, it wasn't just one edgy joke. There's a precedent with her. Public meltdowns, incessant, obsessive social media posts. There's a precedent here that, in my opinion, this is beyond someone just making an edgy joke. I legitimately, in my opinion, I'm not a psychiatrist, not a law enforcement officer, but in my opinion, that is someone the Secret Service needs to keep a tab on, because that is someone who has the, maybe not to shoot Trump, but it's like I said, man, usually when you see people go through something they deem to be traumatic, eventually they start to calm down. These people are continuing to escalate, and it's only a matter of time until one of them walks into a church or a family gathering or someplace they associate with MAGA with a fucking gun. And we need to keep tabs on these lunatics.
Like, I remember during COVID and just the fear mongering, the irrational fear that they implanted in these people when it came to not wearing a mask, going out. I mean, they were getting assaulted. People were getting assaulted. They were getting harassed. They were getting things thrown at them and kicked out. Like, it was massive. And they want to say, oh, well, that was a public health thing. It's kind of the same way. It's happening now. Like, Portland is the epicenter of, like, everything that were happening. Because that is where people were getting hit with bike locks. People were just getting assaulted. A guy got shot. That is the epicenter of what happens when these people just get so insane and so ingrained in this narrative.
Yeah.
And so Aaron has this trail of breadcrumbs leading up to something that could happen.
Look, I'm not saying she wants to kill the president, but her rhetoric and blatant instability at least warrants a look. That's all I'm saying. It at least warrants someone to follow up with it. So, again, I'm not telling anybody what I did. I'm certainly not encouraging you guys to go off on your own and do anything. All I'm saying is, in my opinion, people like that, Secret Service should take a look at, especially if they're public figures that want to have some type of sway and be involved in the discussion. Aaron, the invite's still open. You can always come on the show and debate me.
It's you see stuff like this and you know the posts that they make. It's not like a one-off thing.
No.
Okay? It's consistent.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It's consistent. Like I said, Aaron, you're welcome to come on the show and debate me. Not in person, virtual. I don't want to be falsely accused of rape. But yes, absolutely. She loved coming on this show. Okay.
Oh.
All right. Off with a rape joke in what? The first 20 minutes?
Yeah,
We're off to a good start. We're off to a good start here. We're off to a good start. Okay, let's hop into our lead topic. So, lead topic, Donald Trump has finally, the wait is over. The longest 4 years of all of our lives has finally come to an end. Joe Biden's gone. Donald Trump has taken office, and boy, has he gotten to work. What's your favorite executive order he's signed so far?
It was either the pardoning of the political hostages.
Yes.
I thought that needed to be done. There was one that he had, and it's not like the biggest one per se, but I think when he said all federal workers must return back to work, like on site,
This is a big one.
that was after like an audit showing how little of those
It's like 20%.
yeah. And it's like, you want to talk about government waste, government spending, government inefficiency? Him right there basically telling them, hey, you guys actually need to come to work.
Yeah.
I think that's huge. Like, I love that.
Yeah, that's a big deal because, I mean, like, these people aren't doing the same work in the house that they are in the office,
they're not
right?
doing it.
There's a reason so many companies are switching from work from home remote to full-time in office because, I mean, believe me, man, these companies are about turning a profit. If they could avoid the $7,000 a month mortgage they have to pay on that office space and still get close to the same productivity, they do it. But they have realized that, hey, this $7,000 mortgage actually saves us money in terms of productivity from our employees. So there's a reason that they're calling people back into the office. That's not by mistake. And if it's going on in the private sector, it's going on 10 times as bad in the government. Guarantee you.
And I think one of my favorite ones, and this is, and like when it comes to like my environmental stance on everything,
Yeah.
I would like people
burn it
get
down.
kind of shocked. I'm a conservationist. I firmly believe in conserving ground.
Same.
I'm not a climate like weather weirdo about temperature. Like I think our detriment is to the actual ground and land itself. And so a lot of things like people are talking about, like that's my main thing. And so when Trump's like, I'm getting out of the Paris Climate Accords, and you get all these, and like he wants to, and then later on he wants to like help cut down on the EPA, but getting out of the Paris Climate Accords, and every climate activist is just freaking out. It's like, no, like that was such a inflated government, just like jerk circle.
And it held the United States to standards that no other country had to
they're not
abide
doing the
by.
same.
Yeah,
Like,
China and India can do whatever they want.
It's just a big waste of money to help push Marxist policies under
Absolutely.
the guise of environmental protection.
Absolutely. It is a total scam, just like most of the climate bullshit. Okay, so first thing he did was sign an executive order stating that there are only 2 genders. That was his first order of business. What an insane time we live in that's even necessary.
I would have loved if someone like a reporter was like, "Where'd you get that inspiration?" He just holds up like a biology book or something.
Yeah.
Here. But not like a brand new one, like one of those like roughed edges he had from school. It's like, oh, it's this one.
Common sense, this little thing called common sense, you know. That's so he, what else has he done here? Here's his quote on the WHO, and they asked him about withdrawing from the WHO. He signed an executive order to get us out of that train wreck. Here you go.
I can live with most of them. They took a very safe route. They don't have any bad ones up there.
Withdrawing from
What is this one?
Withdrawing from the World Health Organization, sir?
Ooh, that's a big one.
That's a big one. That's an important one, though, because the Biden administration had just signed, and we've covered it on the show, so I'm not going to go too far into detail on it, but the Biden administration had just signed an executive order that more or less handed over our national sovereignty to the WHO. So it was absolutely critical that we withdrew from that. I mean, this was a very consequential election.
It felt like in the last 4 years, we gave more power to a lot of these international entities than we did for like our own nation.
Yeah.
And we were letting the WHO and we were letting the World Economic
Not the
Forum.
band.
What?
Not the band, The Who.
No, not the band, the WHO.
Yes.
We're letting all these organizations get a little bit more power to kind of dictate what we were doing. And Trump coming in saying, no, I don't like that. It's like, and people are freaking out about it. It's like, why would you freak out that you want your own nation to be sovereign in itself?
Right. I don't want to abide by the laws of foreign powers. I don't want foreign entities that aren't even governments to be able to threaten our national sovereignty. That doesn't make me some nationalist lunatic. That's not how this works. No, it's nuts. He also pardoned Ross Ulbricht as he promised.
Huge.
So libertarians, shut the fuck up. Because they were all bitching that he didn't do it on the first day. He did it on the second day. He pardoned Ross Ulbricht, the founder of the Silk Road, which I agree with. Ross Ulbricht, for those of you that don't know, he started this website on the dark web called the Silk Road. People were able to sell anything, no questions asked. He didn't trace where you were. There were a lot of people that sold illegal things like drugs, guns, and prostitutes, you name it. And Ross Ulbricht didn't sponsor any of it, had no idea who was doing any of it. He was just a really big privacy guy. Trump pardoned him. I know some of our more conservative listeners might have a problem with that. He kept his promises. That was one of the things he said he was going to do. Actually, it's not. He didn't have to do that.
He didn't.
Because he said he would do that if they nominated him as their president for the Libertarian Party. They didn't do it, and he did it anyway. So double shut the fuck up.
And what did the Libertarian Party do? I don't know. Nominate a communist.
Yeah, basically a
That's
mask
a gay
wearing
communist.
I saw a tweet today that said Ross Ulbricht had to sleep in a prison cell for one extra night while Trump was in his nice warm bed at the White House because he couldn't do it on day one. I'm like, you people are never happy. You're never here. Here's my thing. How much experience do you have with like libertarians? Not like libertarian leaning conservatives, Libertarian Party members.
I'm going to be honest with you. I did not like hanging out with them.
No.
I hated hanging out with them. And I went down to Yale, and like you could see like the
virginity.
the leaning conservative, and you're like, all right, yeah, you're some chill people. And then you go to the straight up libertarian people and you're like,
They're freaks.
this is insane. Like, one, shave your beard. It's
Your neck
patchy.
beard, yeah.
Get rid of, like, why are you wearing red, like, satin under a black vest? Okay, you're 20 years old. You're not going to your freshman home.
They dress like they're at prom.
And then it's just like they wear like these high heel like shoes to make them look taller. They weigh 120 pounds soaking wet or 350 pounds. Like it is.
And they're either morbidly obese or look like they're on meth,
You
right?
can go to an anime convention and that's exactly what you're looking at.
You know, you'd probably get more women at an anime convention, though.
Yeah, it's so here's the thing. I'm still a registered libertarian.
Yeah.
I'm going to change to registered Republican.
Are you really?
Yeah.
I changed years ago. I couldn't do it anymore.
The reason I did it first was, one, I thought like I leaned into the libertarian ideas more, and then I kept it because I was like, well, I'm not going to get the political mail, and then I started getting so much more political
Because they see
mail.
it was an independent. Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, screw it, just put me down as Republican.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
No. So I mean, there are some decent people in the Libertarian Party. Absolutely, there are. You guys you want some free game here? You want an easy grift? You want to make some money? If you are women, I'm specifically speaking to women. If you're a solid 6.5 or 7, just say you're a libertarian. There's a career move right there. Say you're a libertarian. That's at least $40,000 a year from the net worth they'll give you, just from them simping over you. You don't have to start an OnlyFans, feet pics, nothing. Just say you're a libertarian. Make recycled talking point YouTube videos, and within a year, you will have a new career. Take it to the bank.
You know what's kind of funny is you can like argue like the moral and like ethics of this, but with the conservatives and libertarians putting attractive women in front of everything and the left still doesn't do it,
I know.
And it shows like the huge push of young men to the conservative side, and it's like, yeah, sex sells, like being attractive sells, like that's a very good marketing point.
Well, AOC's hot. AOC's hot, but she's crazy.
She's crazy.
She's because that's the thing, is the average guy out there knows women like AOC and knows that they ruin your fucking life.
Yeah.
And that's why that doesn't work. You throw like some of these more conservative chicks out there on the front line trying to attract young men, it just works. That's just how it rolls, man. But no, so here's my thing. With the libertarians, it's not even my opinion, it's a fact. I guarantee you at least 70% of them were secretly hoping that Donald Trump did not pardon Ross just so they could be right, rather than actually getting what they claim to want, because that's more important, as being able to be a contrarian. Because I mean, those are really people who are afraid of success.
Yeah.
They are afraid of success in their personal lives in a lot of cases, and politically. That's just how it is.
And it's funny because like being around during like the Ron Paul era of it,
who I have great respect for.
Huge respect for. People love Ron Paul. It's like the modern like libertarian thing is just so far from like what Ron Paul like wanted. And it's a lot of degeneracy.
It is.
No, like we still need to like have these morals. We need to have a backbone. We still need to be like, these upstanding people. They just went to this like degenerate behavior along with the policy.
They went too far, because Ron Paul used to advocate for, I don't think the government should involve itself in the lives of private individuals, but we absolutely should. And a lot of modern libertarians miss the mark on that. They're down with the government doesn't ban you from doing anything, but they're not down with policing ourselves and holding our family and friends accountable and saying, don't do that. That's not good. That's where they stop about halfway down the line.
Hey,
Live and let live can only go so far. You have to police people and hold them accountable personally. Otherwise, society burns to the ground. That's how libertarian society does not work if you don't have a moral code.
I can't remember who it is. I want to say John Adams, but I believe it was one of the founding fathers that said that our laws can only be is only beneficial to a moral society.
Yeah.
If you do not have a moral society, then none of it works.
Yep.
And people are like, well, yeah, obviously you just got to follow. It's like, no, there's more to it than just following the laws.
Right.
There's more to it.
Right.
And because you look at Ron Paul, it's like Ron Paul would be like, well, no, we should decriminalize marijuana. And then it's like, yeah, that makes sense. And then the Libertarian Party now is like, we just need to smoke all the weed now.
Yeah, just
And it's like,
constantly
no,
be high.
No,
Yeah.
No, don't turn into one of those loser stoners.
Moderation. Like, do you think the people that when alcohol was prohibited, do you think they were going around just like, let's get drunk everywhere? No, that's not how it works. Yeah, that's excuse me. I once got into an argument with a libertarian one time about the trans kids thing, right? And his argument was that it was never the state's business how somebody parents their kids. And I'm like, okay, so if they're beating the shit out of them, throwing beer bottles at them, nope, that's how they choose to discipline them. I'm like, okay, what if somebody chooses to shoot their kid up with black tar heroin? And this guy told me that it's still, excuse me, it was so retarded I had to sneeze. This guy told me that it was still none of the state's business if someone chose to shoot their kid up with black tar heroin, because we don't have an objective version of objective definition of what's bad for children. That they may see it as beneficial, and that's entirely their right to shoot their 10-year-old up with black tar heroin. And I'm like, oh, you people are all retarded. Okay. You're just a lunatic, and then you're gonna wonder why you can't win. Right? That's
And because like if I look back at like the different like things I had and like to where I'm at now,
Yeah.
like with the changes, it's like I went from like straight up decriminalize all drugs to be like, there's gotta be some that you just straight up don't allow in society or something. Like I went from like decriminalization to there's gotta be a gray area to where we can still maintain some order. Because if you look, because like the usage does like it's detrimental to
absolutely
society.
Yeah.
And then it's like if I look into like how it was like foreign policy, I was like, let's just like we're gonna stay back and everything. It's like nope, like that kind of worked back then, but we're in a more complex world. Maybe we got to pick and choose where we're gonna do our actions.
right. Yeah.
And like what's beneficial. And
America
so
first.
it's like there's like things that you learn to like are like changing, and you can still maintain like this more liberty, freedom,
Yeah.
type of ideology, but it's
nuanced. I also think that the older you get, the more you realize there's gray in the world. And libertarianism, just like communism or fascism or anything like that, is a very black and white perspective that lacks a lot of nuance. That's my opinion on it. If you disagree with me, you're wrong. So it's no, I mean, it's just, I don't know, man. It's the older I got, the more mature I got. I was like, so the drug thing still, I don't know. I think that now I certainly don't want people shooting up at playgrounds and getting high and driving and stuff. But I think there's got to be another way. Just the things I know about addiction, I think there's got to be a better way to deal with it than to just lock people in prison for it.
right. Like obviously that, but like it's to the point. It's like what controls can we have on it that eliminates
Well,
where you're seeing the people with like fentanyl on the streets.
that's
of
exactly.
Philadelphia.
So there's two types of drug legalization, right? There's what they have over in like Denmark, which is where, yeah, you can go shoot black tar heroin up in your house as long as your kids aren't there, as long as you don't get high and drive, as long as you don't commit any crimes. And if you do it in public, you're going to jail. If you do it around children, if you drive, if you commit a crime, you're going to jail, and the punishment's going to be twice as harsh for if you did that stuff sober. Whereas you have Portland, where they're like, do whatever, and you know what, we'll pay to get you higher, and you act like a complete lunatic, and if people defend themselves from you, then we'll put them in jail. That's the wrong way to do it. I feel like there's a right way and a wrong way to go about drugs. I think
it kind of it's to me it seems like I read the laws of this. I don't know if it's changed, but like the Autobahn, no speed limit. But I read it, and they have like if there's a speed like safety.
Yeah.
So like it basically says it's like you can go as fast as you want, but if you crash,
oh, you're in trouble.
You're in trouble.
Yeah.
But if you crash going our recommended speed, then it's not a big deal because it's like this is what we recommended, and if it's not your fault, so on and so forth. So like it's kind of like that. It's like there's got to be some controls on it that also aren't just horrible war on drugs type of policy.
Right.
But
because it seems like in America we get the two extremes. It's we're going to ruin your life for pot. Or, shoot up and do whatever the hell you want, masturbate in front of families at playgrounds, and we won't do anything.
Smoking up in his dorm room deserves a massive punishment.
No.
I do think the guy that decided to break out the crack pipe at a park,
yes,
regardless of what time it is, should probably get put away.
We should probably get that guy off the streets.
Probably.
The guy who's walking around downtown Vegas naked, masturbating while yelling about how the moon landing was staged. I know that from personal experience. I've seen it. Probably needs to go away.
When I was in New York, there was a woman who was naked fingering herself and screaming at people around the streets.
Was she at least kind of hot?
No.
Oh.
Disgusting. And
It didn't hurt to ask.
But like I'm looking at all these people and I'm just like, this is someone that I would kick downstairs to get away from me.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Like,
they just put up with it.
Why is this still around? Like, why aren't the cops like take her somewhere to where she's, can't hurt herself or others?
Yeah.
Get her off the street.
Get her away from people. Away from people.
Can you tell me that's the same thing as the guy who just smoked a joint because he had a really hard final?
I mean, that's no different than me
Or
drinking
had
a beer right now.
Or had a bad day at work and just needs to relax. Like, you can't tell me
Right.
it's the same.
I mean, if you're going to, a dude smoking a joint is literally no different than any of you going over to drinkbloodofTyrants.com and using the promo code BASED, like the title of the show, to save 10% off on the glass of wine you're going to have with dinner after work tomorrow, right? I mean, there's no little ad product placement there. It works, right? But no, I mean, seriously.
But speaking of war on drugs, here's the thing. I'm actually very excited that he's treating the cartel as foreign.
Yep, that's what I was going to get to next. He has labeled, his next executive order has labeled the cartels as terrorist organizations. And I got to say, it's about fucking time, because the Mexican drug cartels have done more to us than ISIS, Al-Qaeda, or anybody combined. They've killed more people with this fentanyl. They have poisoned our population for decades now. It is about time somebody cracks down on them.
They are infiltrated. They are in the U.S. They are operating within the U.S. They have their drugs in every system. They are in the pockets of very many local governments.
Absolutely.
Police department. It is 100%. Like, you want to talk about like Reagan's war on drugs or whatever? Like, okay, whatever. Like,
No.
who's going off the product? This is like actual, like, no, they're a problem.
Mm-hmm.
They are threatening and actually affecting our lives as Americans.
Yep.
I want to get rid of them.
Well, I mean, you see these people taking over entire apartment complexes, and
No, that's
Biden
fake
lets
news.
it go on for
That's fake
weeks.
news.
Yeah, it's
That
fake
didn't
news. They just
happen.
have it on video. They just have it on guys with AK-47s going down on video. No, dude, here's what you do. Fuck, I've told you guys this before. If a paramilitary group takes over, I don't care if it's residential or commercial, but let's say for argument's sake, a residential building on U.S. soil, you give them 24 hours to leave. If they don't leave, you send a TAC team in, kill every last one of them that doesn't surrender. Then you take the ones who did surrender, pull them out into the streets, and videotape yourself shooting them in the back of the head. And then you send it to their amigos back home on an iPad through FedEx or whatever the fuck it does to get down there, and you let them know what's going to happen if they come try to do the same shit here.
My favorite, I actually saw a post right now on TikTok, and because everyone's pissed off by the ice race, that's a different discussion at a different time, but they were like, Trump's actually going to go at the cartel. Our military, hope they fuck around and find out. I'm like, here's the thing. You think the military has...
Oh, they're not worried about the
trouble
cartel.
with the cartel?
They're not worried about the cartel.
And it's like, cartel are animals. I'm like, do you know what our military does? Not the queers that sign up and do desk jobs.
No,
not the other like Air Force desk jockeys. No, the actual guys who are like, I want infantry, I want airborne, I want this. You know what they do when you send them in and you go, hey, your mission is to kill them, and you don't have to follow rules of engagement.
Yeah.
You know what happens?
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's dead.
Yeah, they're not gonna live. There's not gonna be much left of
There's
them.
nothing going to be left there.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of hype around the cartels. Listen, if you're an average dude that has managed to piss off the Mexican drug cartel to the point where they want you dead, yeah, you're in deep shit. If you're part of the United States Army, I don't think you have much to worry about. You're gonna the United States Army versus the cartel would be like NFL players versus Boy Scouts. Like, it's not gonna happen.
Like
man.
a single team of like Green Berets, Army Rangers. Like, we're not even pulling out like
SEAL Team 6 or nothing.
SEALs
Yeah.
or like if you get like a single like special forces like Marine Force Recon and you go, hey, like 5 guys, and you go, I need you to clear out this apartment building.
Yeah.
They go, all right.
Yeah.
Any like restrictions? Nope.
Take them all out. I mean, you're at that point because you can't use the U.S. military on citizens. These people aren't citizens. They also, as citizens, aren't entitled to the same rights that the rest of us are. So they don't need a trial. You catch somebody occupying a residential building or home in the United States, running a protection scheme out of it with a hostile armed takeover, kill them. They don't deserve a trial. Don't let them come back. Don't deport them. Just kill them so we don't have to worry about them anymore. It's one less shitbag in the world. Anyway. It pisses me off to no end, man.
But I hate the Gen Zers and like how like they want to root anyone who's against the U.S. government. It's like we have our qualms with the U.S. government as well.
Yeah, we hate the U.S. government here.
It's all these issues with it, but I love my country.
Yeah,
and they hate the country.
Well, I remember in Trump's first term. Remember when all that shit was going on with North Korea and Kim Jong-un? I remember like people on Facebook who were soft rooting for Kim Jong-un in North Korea. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you guys. If you're, and I didn't like Trump back then, but I'm like, if you find yourself rooting for Kim Jong-un against us, you're gone. I don't know what to tell you at this point.
Stop it. And so right now it's like, oh, I want the deportations. I want these cartels to just be treated like absolute animals.
Absolutely. Yep. Get rid of them.
I want them to. I want a show of force. I don't want I don't want it clean. I want it messy.
Yeah.
I want them to just show that it's like, you better get back to wherever you're from and you better quit what you're doing.
Do not come back here. Yeah. Do not come.
Dude.
Do not. As it turns out, massacring them and finding out where their families live and sending them pictures from the Predator drone and letting them know what's going to happen to their families if they come back turns out to be more productive than do not come. Dude, I'm gonna come. He's also frozen foreign aid for 90 days. Have you followed that? Frozen foreign aid for 90 days.
I did hear about that. That is, speaking of like getting involved with countries, at some point can we just be like, it's not working.
Right.
It's not working. To say it's not working, it's not helping. And I'm not talking like the Ukraine and like other stuff like that, because I don't think we need to be funding them. But I mean, when we talk about like hiding like millions of dollars, you'll find out it's like, well, we sent $3 million to this random African country. And I'm like, what have we done?
For what? Yeah, what's going on over there?
What benefit have they had from this?
Nothing. What benefit have we had from this?
Nothing.
Nothing.
We have no return on investment. And
Nothing.
It's like, well, it's aid. It's supposed to be given with charity, but like it's not, because like the United States, a government shouldn't be acting in charity. It should be acting in its best interest.
The best interest of its citizens. Yeah,
right.
Exactly. And that's what I've told people is I think we need to make sure we're clear when we say America first, because I think a lot of people misconstrue that. America first doesn't necessarily mean America only, right?
Right.
If there's things we can do with other countries that in turn benefit the United States, its citizens, and their interests, that's putting America first. If we're going to throw, and this is something he hasn't said he's going to do, it doesn't seem like, but if we're going to throw crazy tariffs on somebody that's going to bankrupt Americans and drive our prices up, is that really putting America first? Even if it's in the name of bringing back American manufacturing or whatever, are we really putting Americans first if we're punishing them? We have to be careful with that and ask ourselves, who benefits at the end of this line and who gets fucked by it? That's the big thing there is... And
it's just like when it comes to like having a leader and stuff, like I don't want an empathetic nice guy.
No
want
Mike Riley.
Mean. I want someone mean, and I want someone that's going to like show force and is going to tell them no. I don't want this like, well, we need to be more sympathetic. No, be mean.
I want a douchebag.
I want someone who's a dick. I want someone to be like, hey, how can we benefit each other? And then someone goes, whoa, we actually like, we just need this. Like, can you just help a little bit? No.
Yeah, exactly. Next one, he has signed an executive order requiring all public schools, and I told you guys we'd talk about this on Wednesday, requiring all public schools to teach personal finance to their students. I personally find it completely insane that wasn't already something that was required.
I had a personal finance class in high school.
I had one too, but it wasn't mandatory.
That's right. It wasn't mandatory.
No. And what were you going to say?
No wonder these kids don't know how economics or money works.
I took it.
Think it grows on trees.
They do. And again, man, when you look at like you want to talk about a crisis. I already told you guys, I'm going to give you this prediction one more time, right? So you can't say that I never said it. I want you guys to keep tabs, right? I'm going to give you this prediction one more time. By the year 2035, we will see calls from mainstream U.S. politicians asking for credit card debt forgiveness the same way you're seeing it with student loan forgiveness. We're over $1 trillion in credit card debt as a company, or excuse me, as a country, and it's only growing.
So,
and the Biden administration blew up credit card debt because you know how they kept bragging about spending. The consumer confidence is at an all-time high. Well, no, they're just spending more money on groceries and it's all going on their credit card because they can't pay for it out of pocket.
I was one of those people. I wasn't making enough to do it. I had to use my credit card to get groceries.
Yeah,
like, it was bad. So Caleb Hammer, like, is this guy who does like finance. He's like a young Dave Ramsey.
Yeah.
Puts people on and does the same. He does the
rice
same
and
thing.
beans and rice.
Yeah, he does the same thing. It's like, hey, you need to like cut these costs or whatever. But he like freaks out. He calls them idiots. Like he screams at them.
I need to look at it as guy.
It's hilarious. Like because like that part's correct. It's like stop spending like on useless stuff. The dollars add up, and it's like, what's your income? What can you do? How can we get a job? Like,
right.
we need to cut because he's getting people with like 60, 80, $90,000 in debt, and they're 23 years old, 24, like they're young. And he
how do you get that much debt?
Well, okay. For example, there was this young lesbian couple that spent
say less. It was all on medical bills from beating each other, right? That's all.
They spent $21,000 for a Disney trip, singular, and they only make $7,000 a month
between the two of them.
And so
after taxes.
Yeah.
How do you spend $21,000?
They're Disney adults.
Which we all know my opinion. Disney adults deserve to be genocided. Go ahead.
So, and then there's like another one where like this dude's wife, they've been married for like 2 years. This dude's wife would just like, he is like looking over. He was like, how'd you spend $1,200 in 1 week? And she's like, well, I bought this stuff from Target that looked nice. And he's like, do you use it? No, I didn't like it, so I returned it.
Well, she got her money back.
No, but she didn't return all of it.
Oh, so she kept some of it.
So like it's all these like personal finances, and he said like he was on with Theo Von, and he said like these people think they're like children till they're like 22.
Yeah,
they act like they're just kids.
There's no consequence. There's no long-term consequences to shit.
They don't act like adults, and so like their spending is just like, oh, I'll get out of it. And
yeah.
Like, no.
I guys, I hate to break it to you. The second you turn the age of majority in your state and take out a credit card, that's gonna follow you forever. Student loans going to follow you forever. Believe me, man. Believe me. I'm someone who clawed his way out of bad debt. Not as bad as some of these people. I wasn't like hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm going to admit to this on the air. I was close to $20,000 in credit card debt at one point. I was close to $20,000. Like, that's a car, right? Yeah. I crawled my way out of there with discipline. Because, like, dude, the thing was, like, when I was 18 years old, so here's what happened. When I was 18 years old, it wasn't a great job, but compared to what all my friends were doing, it was a good job, right?
Right.
So I'm doing what any idiot 18-year-old kids do. I was selling cars, and I was making good money. So I'm doing what any other idiot 18-year-old kid's doing is I'm spending money, right? And I had money at the time. You know, I was living with my parents, so I had all this extra money to spend, and it was cool. And then I realized I fucking hate this job. This is miserable. I want to quit and go. I want to go to college and do that whole thing, right? So I was like 19 and almost 20 years old. Quit. Went and worked at a hardware retail store that'll go nameless because they probably don't want to be affiliated with me.
No.
And I went from making more money than all my friends, like 3 times what all my friends were making, to $9 or $10.50 an hour, right? Right. And I mean, this is 2015, so like that's still kind of $10.50 an hour was a lot better in 2015 than it is now. I mean, I don't know anyone who pays $10.50 an hour in 2025. But so I went back and I did not want to give up the lifestyle, right, that I was living prior to that. So credit card purchase here, credit card purchase there. It never seemed like much. And I mean, at this time, it was $100, $200, right? It was never a bunch of money, but what happened was I developed bad habits, and bad habits accumulated into debt. And debt, you get into the mindset where you're just like, well, I'll just pay this off next month. Well, I'll just pay this off next month. So what if this trip to the bar was $75? I'll just pay. Well, we'll finance it. I'll pay for it in 3 months. And then the interest starts to pile up, and you feel like it's all. And dude, it takes discipline. And the problem is, so I got a little bit lucky getting hit by a drunk driver and everything. I managed to pay a lot of that. Probably about half of it I paid off out of pocket, and the other half I paid off with that. But The problem is if you don't change your mindset, you'll get back into it. So if you fall into a bunch of money, somebody dies, you get into an accident, get a bonus or a pay raise or whatever, and you don't change your habits and discipline yourself, you're going to continue to blow through your money and you're going to continue to get back into debt. It's a tough cycle and it's tough to break. It's just like weight loss. It's like alcoholism. Spending's an addiction, man.
It's like people who win the lottery and then go bankrupt 6 months later.
Yeah, because they go stupid with it.
And that's when you learn that a lot of poor people are poor by their own choices.
Yeah. They are, and I get it. Bad shit happens to people. Like people have like shitty medical bills and stuff like that. But for the most, listen, man, as someone who's been in bad credit card debt, I get it. It sucks. But I don't feel bad for a lot of you because a lot of you are there because you are impulsive and not because you had legitimate emergencies. I still have credit cards, right? I still have credit cards. I don't drink as much as I used to, but I'll still have a beer every now and then. I still have credit cards because shit hits the fan. And yeah, if my water line breaks and I got to come up with $7,500, I don't want to drain our savings account.
No.
Right? I don't want to do that. So I still have it for emergencies, not for nights at the bar, not for trips to the mall. So people, we absolutely need to teach these because if I'm bad, these impulsive kids who can't keep their attention for more than 7 seconds thanks to TikTok are going to be a holy fucking nightmare. So we absolutely need to teach these kids how to manage their money. I think you teach personal finance all 4 years.
Yeah, no, I think it has to start early because then that way you can get into like taxes and like understanding like, and you get to more of a realistic view of like, hey, when you leave high school, things are going to come to you. You don't have your parents to back you up.
Yeah. Do you want to know when I started getting financially responsible?
When? Last year?
No, last week, man. What are you talking about? No, I started getting actually making sure that my shit was handled. I want to say it would have been around 2020, COVID years. And the reason I started doing it, Mia, we weren't married at the time, obviously, but we had a pregnancy scare. And I was like, I got 9 months to get as much of this shit paid off as I can. And so I stopped going out. I stopped eating at restaurants. I stopped buying electronics, guns, everything, and just started throwing everything at my credit card debt. And I got it paid down and then realized the baby wasn't coming. And I was like, okay, well,
beer to celebrate.
Yeah, let's go to the bar. I'm gonna need to borrow some money. No, kidding, but no. And then I was like, okay, maybe this is probably the best way to. I should keep this up here. But that was when I was. Shit gets real when children get, or you think children are going to be involved. So that's anything else on personal finance?
Nope. Good decision.
I'm gonna watch this Caleb Hammer guy. We're not financial advisors, by the way, but here's why you should put your entire retirement. No, I'm kidding. Into crypto shitcoin. Let's talk. What's he done with crypto? He ran on being the crypto president. Have you seen anything with that?
No, I don't care for crypto anymore.
I'm not big into it either. I have a little bit of money into it, but it's not like I'm not watching it like, oh, I just made $10,000. It's not that big of a deal to me.
I'm not gambling on a internet coin.
No, I have, again, not a financial advisor. I have money in Bitcoin. I have it and I just let it sit there. I don't move it around. And like, there's people that's all they do is follow. Oh, I'm getting killed today. I shouldn't have pulled it up. But there's people that's all they do is they follow Bitcoin and all these different crypto.
Like,
I don't have the energy.
No,
I don't have the energy.
I don't have the energy. Don't have the time. Like it's because like I saw it as like, if I'm going to like use it as like actual currency, then let's use it as actual currency.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Initially Initially, Bitcoin was pitched as something that would be a replacement or an alternative currency, and now it's literally just an investment. It does nothing.
No, it's there's not even places that you can really use it.
It does nothing. And the initial appeal to it was that it was encrypted and they couldn't track you with it, right? Well, now they track you. And I was even back when they were pitching Bitcoin as something that was untraceable. I'm like, guys, it's on the internet. It's directly tied to your phone and your fucking address. Of course they can trace it if they want to. You're an idiot if you think the people that watch you through your fridge can't track your Bitcoin transactions. Yeah. Of course they can. Of course they can.
And then if someone goes, well, you're not going to get rich, it's like, I don't care.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. I don't want to be rich at this point.
I haven't won the lottery. I haven't hit
I don't
big
play
on
it.
gambling. I'm fine. Look at me.
I don't.
I'm good.
Yeah, I don't want to be rich at this point. If I can. Now, don't get me wrong. Somebody came to me and was like, "Here's $1 million." Yeah, I'm gonna take it.
saying yes.
I'll take it. I make smart investments, and if they blow up, then great. But I don't want to be. I don't want the bullshit that comes with that. I just don't want to. I don't want to worry about paying my bills and worrying where my next meal's coming from. But I'm good without being a multi-millionaire.
There's like a certain dollar amount they say is like, this is when people are like,
you know what it is?
They're happy. They're fine. I remember like years ago, it was like $75,000. Obviously, that's
It
probably,
ain't that no more. No, you're
probably
scraping
got to
by.
be like $200K a year.
I think it's like 250 is what I heard.
Okay.
What I heard one time, Joe Rogan said, unless you want to have like yachts and private jets and like that kind of wealth, and this is a guy who came from nothing to being worth hundreds of millions of dollars, right? So this guy would know. He said, you're really not getting, like, it kind of plateaus at a certain point. And he said that certain point for me was when I was able to just go out on a random night with my wife to a nice restaurant, order food, and not worry about how much it was going to cost me. And I'm like, that makes sense.
I feel like that'd be the moment where you're like, it doesn't matter.
That makes sense. Yeah. Not like, because we go to nice restaurants a couple times a year. And like, even then I'm kind of like, God damn it. But like, if we could just be like, hey, it's Friday. Do you want to go to insert steakhouse here and just go and spend $400 and it wouldn't be a big thing? Then you're there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Anything beyond that, it's kind of more for like personal growth and personal goals and shit. So yeah, I'm not big on crypto. Sorry if I pissed anybody off.
Sorry, libertarians.
Sorry, libertarians. Well, they were going to be mad at me either way because I don't think 10-year-olds should be able to take black tar heroin.
So controversial take.
So have you followed the medicine price capping lies?
I have not. It's just because like over the years, like the arguments of back and forth between like the medicine and everything. And
Yeah.
like, as someone who doesn't take any medication at all, like it doesn't affect me.
Right.
But like,
I think it should all be $1 million.
Yeah,
Let the weak burn.
and but like then going on with like price capping, doesn't matter what the product is, usually has a lot of faults to it when
Right.
it comes to the market and
Doesn't
supply.
work. Yeah.
And so it's one of those things where it's like I'm not sure like how to think about it.
Yeah. Well, so here's what happened. So Biden signed a couple executive orders in 2021 when he took over. One of them put a $35 monthly cap on the price of insulin, right? He signed a couple other executive orders which Trump has repealed. Now it was now the grifters and liars, because that's what this is a lie, on the left reported that Trump repealed Biden's $35 insulin cap. Not only did he not do that, he said he won't do that. What Trump repealed was a couple executive orders that Biden had signed, which directed the Department of Health to look into lowering the costs of various prescription drugs. Now, Biden issued that direction back in 2021. They had 4 years to look into it. Obviously, they found nothing, or they would have done something with it. So all they did for 4 years was waste resources and waste taxpayer money, and Trump said, you're done with that. He didn't remove the caps on any he didn't remove the price caps on any prescription drugs. He simply said, we're not going to keep looking into something without actually doing it. You're either going to show me results or we're done. And they're not showing results, so he's cutting the program. That's all it was. That's all it was. And why do they need to, what is that? Why do they sign these executive orders? I'm directing so-and-so department to look into this. Like, how long is it going to take? How much is it going to cost? Why do they need to keep looking into it? Like, what's the point here?
Pad someone's pockets.
That's all that is a money laundering scam.
You just tell a certain department that, guess what? You just got $5 million to investigate something. In 6 months, we need a report. And so what they're going to do is they're going to investigate it. And in 2 weeks, they're done. They spent $500,000. And then now the rest of the money they just get to keep. And so they're going to push it around to various accounts and various entities and various liquidated assets, until the government is like, oh, nope, it went to where it needed to go.
Yep.
But it's all in their pockets, and they have a nice fancy new suit and a new car, and they went on vacation.
And maybe that gets funneled into re-election campaigns.
Yeah.
Which also cut the candidates a salary.
their stock portfolios go up,
Yep.
and you're just like, oh,
Yeah, a little insider trading action going on there, right? All right, we got 2 more here. He's going to reroute water to Southern California. Basically, he should call this the fuck that fish order. That's
because the LA fire and like the fact that it's all these different reservoirs were dry. It's like, well, we just wanted to redirect the water all into the ocean because of some environmental thing, wasn't it?
there was a fish that they wanted to save that
gives a
had
shit?
Gavin Newsom. No, it's not even Newsom, because Newsom's a psychopath who has no morals or principles. It's the environmentalists that have ruined that state. And the problem is, I don't think that the environmental activists actually know that they're doing bad. I think they're useful idiots for folks like Soros who have ulterior motives, but I don't think they think that they're burning the state down. I don't think that there's malice from environmentalists. I think their heart's in the right place. They're just retards.
It's that episode of SpongeBob when they are like Wormy is like this butterfly thing flying around, and it's like, we did it, we saved the city,
saved the town.
I think a lot of the policies, what they do is much more detrimental. You know what's worse than like this fish not getting protected? I don't know. How about a bunch of people dying and land getting burned?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's a lot worse.
That is pretty bad.
I would rather see a stupid lake freshwater fish go extinct
Yeah.
than to see like humanity die in a fire.
Dude, did you see that fucking video in Newsom where the woman runs up to him and she's like, what are you guys doing to save my kid's school and my house? And he goes, I'm on the phone with the president of the United States right now.
And no one's
Yeah.
No.
And she goes, can you put him on speakerphone? And he says, I'm literally on the phone with the president of the United States right now as we speak. She goes, can you put him on speakerphone? And he goes, I don't have any signal. And they asked her on Piers Morgan, they said, did you see his phone? He's like, because Newsom said he'd been called. He's like, I don't have any signal. I've been trying to call him over and over again. I can't get a hold of him. So they asked him, Piers Morgan's like, did you see his call log? And she said, yeah, the last 2 calls he made were to his wife an hour ago. The guy's a psychopath.
Yeah, no, and I like how the Democrats think that, like, one, they want Kamala to run again, and I like how they also think he's gonna run and be like, and beat
his career's
J.D.
over.
Vance.
His career's over.
Yeah,
Because he's got 1 year left as governor over there, as governor, if they don't recall him.
Yeah.
And this is probably going to be the last major national story that his name's plastered to, and he's going out on like, you know how they say when you play basketball, never end on a miss? He's ending on like a shot that gets blocked into the bleachers. And he's going to be on such a poor down streak. There's no way. His career's over.
he's gonna write a book when he's done.
He'll write a book, yeah.
He'll write a book and it'll be everywhere.
He's Nero. He fiddled while Rome burned. We call him Nero on the show now. That's his new nickname. That's his new nickname. What were you going to say about Kamala Harris running?
Oh, they want like she was pulling high after this whole thing. It's like there's no.
It's name recognition.
No, JD Vance is going to take it over, and then Barron Trump is going to be the new emperor.
God, Emperor Barron. I agree. I think if Trump has a moderately successful chill next 4 years and everything doesn't go to shit and there's not a bunch of chaos, I think he does like Bush 41 numbers, just absolutely dog walks whoever the Democrats run.
No.
I would not be surprised, honestly, if you have a situation where Trump has a successful next 4 years. I would not be surprised to see the Democrats realize that 2028 is a lost cause and nominate somebody like an AOC that they know isn't electable just to appease the radical part of their base 100%. And shut them up. And then she gets dog walked and wins 7 states, and it may actually launch the party into chaos.
No, I think they had their fun. I truly think they had their fun. And it's going to go down because, like, looking at the next 4 years is like what I think Trump's going to do. Because here's the thing: Trump's first run, it was fine. It was pretty good.
Yeah,
it's not excitingly, massive. There was a lot of flaws to it, but he sat down and like talked about it. He's like, no, I didn't know these people. I didn't know how it was going to work.
Yeah.
I was like, for someone who had no idea how things were going to go,
he did a good job.
You did fine.
Yeah.
And so now, like, having like this different mindset of like, nope, we're changing the game. I'm getting these people out of here. I'm getting this out of here.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not even worried about the establishment Republicans. We're doing something completely different. It's like, I think this is going to be a completely game changer. And I'm not saying everything's going to be perfect. There are going to be flaws. Like every like president has had their issues, but like, I think like a lot of prices and stuff are going to go down. Not necessarily. Do I think they're going to stabilize?
Yeah.
Yes. That's what I care about more.
I agree. I think they stabilize, and I think wage growth outpaces inflation,
Yes.
which is what I've been telling you guys from the get-go. Don't get frustrated when you go to the... Actually, I have talked to some people that have some ties to the beef industry who have said that this summer could be rough for beef prices, and this was coming no matter who was the president.
Yeah.
And that's part of the problem... And I said this on the Wednesday show, is I think the Republicans took an issue that they knew was a hot button issue for everybody, and they made the mistake. It paid dividends in the short term, but I think in the long term it has the potential to bite them in the ass because they oversimplified the issue of groceries. Yeah. And they took it and said, look, we're just going to remember when we were in office and things were lower? Well, they were a lot lower because inflation wasn't as rampant. But even when Trump was in office for the first 4 years, you still had things like meat and eggs and stuff like that the prices were volatile on. And you just didn't feel it as bad because everything else wasn't going through the roof.
And when it comes to like a lot of those commodities, and I see stuff and I read stuff that says like, well, you know, grain supply comes from here and not here. And it's like, I like the U.S. as it stands now, I feel like 100% could just, we have so much yield.
Yeah.
That we can just supply our own beef, eggs, pigs. Like
Absolutely.
We don't have to import it or get it out of anywhere. So it's like, why can't we just have a good domestic product in that line? And as far as like trade value goes, like why don't we worry about what we can do as far as purchasing, moving our product within our own borders before we send anything over to other places? Because then you charge more. Because,
America first.
Yeah, America first. It's like because like I know a lot of like countries they can't really get beef because they just don't have any like access to it.
Pussies.
And it's like, well, we're gonna have them buy our beef first before we do this. It's like, no.
Can you imagine how low their testosterone must be over there?
It must be horrible.
Must be disgusting.
I also saw something that was like we're starting to buy beef from like Mexico and stuff like that. It's like I saw like I can't verify it. I just like read it, but it's like I want like America to be 100% just we're building ourselves up from within.
Yeah.
And we give excess out when we feel like it.
Right.
When it benefits us.
Right. Yeah. No, completely agree. Completely America first. Not America only. America first. You do things with your own people in mind first. Just like people are family oriented. They do things with their family in mind first. Would I love to go out and spend $3,700 on an FN Scar modified in 308? Absolutely. Or chambered in 308? Absolutely, I would. But my wife would probably kill me with it, so I don't do it. All right, last one up here. Like you said, you started it off with pardoned nearly 1,600 January 6th protesters, political prisoners, as you called them. Did you hear Lauren Boebert's going to give them a tour?
That's hilarious.
Of the Capitol building,
like they did on January 6th.
Yeah,
but a better tour.
It'll be a guided tour this time. By her instead of the police. Yeah,
I hope they walk right past AOC's office.
Dude, it might give her PTSD. I hope she
wasn't there
like she was on January 6th, and it gives her PTSD.
In the building. It's because I love how the left like try to be like they're traitors, they're treasonous, they hate our country, and it's like that's such a insane like criticism of like what they did.
There were a couple retards who did stupid things. Yeah.
That's just the law of statistics.
Yeah.
You get your little bell curve out. Like there's going to be the people at one end who don't do a thing. There's going to be people on the other end who do all the stupid stuff.
Yep.
And then everyone in the middle is just like, hey, doors open. Yep. Let's walk in.
Go in and take a look.
Let's see what happens.
Well, the thing is, if they would have done that any other day, nothing would have happened to them. It's such a crazy... The January 6th thing. It's the way they blew that out of proportion. Even when it was happening, I was kind of like, are you serious?
And just imagine being someone who was like at the front of this rally and like things are moving up and you have no idea what's happening.
Yeah.
And you kind of just like you're walking, and all of a sudden you're like, should I go in? And you walk through steps like, nah, I'm gonna leave. And you walk out, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, it's like, hey, we gotta put you in prison for 6 months for trespassing.
Right. All
And
you
it's
did was walk in.
All I did was walk in, and it's like to be fair, the guy who went into Nancy Pelosi's office and put his feet on the desk. I'm gonna be honest with you, probably not a smart idea.
No, that was pretty.
Don't do that. It doesn't matter
who
who it is.
lectern.
Do not go to a sitting congressperson's office, especially what was her position?
She was the speaker.
Yeah,
at that
don't go
point.
into the speakers because they're
Didn't
going to
someone take a shit in her office too?
someone
or was
like
that a rumor.
Oh yeah, no, they said like they were smearing shit on the walls, and I'm like, yeah, probably arrest them.
Yeah, no, yeah, they should be
arrest
arrested.
them.
The guy who stole somebody's laptop should go to jail.
Hey,
the
they broke
lectern
windows.
guy, yeah,
Let's arrest the people that broke windows. Let's
yeah.
arrest them.
Sure.
Hey,
But
these
let's
people-
also arrest the people who torched Starbucks because a convicted felon got shot by the police.
let's arrest them.
Let's arrest them.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
they're
let's,
not arrested.
Yeah, let's enforce the law both ways here, sweetheart.
Yeah.
That's the thing is what I've always said about the January 6th protesters was, yeah, of course some of the people at the Capitol on January 6th acted like idiots. But you know what? Without condoning what those people did, they had a problem and they took their problem to what they deemed to be the source of it. They didn't say, oh, somebody got shot by police, so I'm going to go blow this AutoZone up. That doesn't make any sense.
Hey, you know who should be punished for all
Who?
the completely justifiable cop shit? You know who should be punished?
Who?
That Target. I'm going to take out the Walgreens. How dare you sit on his neck? I need all of your Diet Coke.
That's right. That's right. The only way to get justice here is a brand new plasma screen TV.
Watching like in Omaha, because Omaha's is like very tame compared to other places, but watching Omaha,
We had a rough night, though.
it was a very rough night. And I'm watching this, and they're just going around. They pick up a rock, they throw it at a window, it breaks, and then they move on. I'm like, I'll show them.
Yeah, you'll teach them.
You got them.
You'll teach. Well, and then one of them got domed for it. But, what are you going to do?
That veteran was trying to protect his business, and the public just harassed him. It's funny because like the guy who got shot, Spurlock, he
Trash bag.
trash, human filth, and he was like, I watched him on the lives, like he went. There was a building downtown somewhere where they have like
He was breaking into shit. Yeah.
the first level was like kind of down a little bit. And like he's going around and he's just punching computers. Like he's just walking around punching computers. He's grabbing chairs, tossing them. He's breaking things, ripping cords.
Yeah.
Just messing the place. Broke a window, gets out. And then I see like he's the kid that got shot. And I'm like,
Jake Gardner was sacrificed. Jake Gardner,
I don't know if he's dead.
he's dead.
I don't think he's dead.
He's dead. He was
Witness protection.
he was sacrificed. There was no case with that guy, and they brought the special prosecutor in who had a history of not being such a fan of white people, and they brought that guy in to do a hit. That's what
the
that
only
was. They
reason why
charged him knowing they weren't going to be able to convict him, and the guy wound up killing himself.
Yeah.
It's shameful the way that was handled.
That entire case was handled it was harassment to that prosecutor, and it was 100% like public opinion.
Yep.
It had nothing to do with what actually happened.
Hung in the court of public opinion,
Yep.
unfortunately. And it's of my opinion that we should end this segment and get into store brand TMZ next, so stay tuned. All right, and before we get into store brand TMZ, I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors at Hot Salt. Firecracker.farm, promo code BASED, BASED, is going to save you 10% off your order at the checkout on their new product, Hot Salt, combination of scorpion pepper, Mediterranean sea salt, ghost pepper, and Carolina Reaper. Hot Salt goes great on everything meat, potatoes, salad, margaritas, as my wife would say, because she's part Mexican. Firecracker.farm. She doesn't actually have an accent. You guys know she's usually on the show. Firecracker.farm, promo code BASED, BASED, like the title of the show, saves you 10% off your order at the checkout. Go over there and support the products that support shows like this one. They're also, I heard, a sponsor of Rogan, but don't use his promo code. He doesn't need your money. He doesn't need your money the way I do. Okay, let's hop into store brand TMZ real quick.
Justin Bieber!
All right, this week on store brand TMZ, we got a couple different things to talk about here. This first one, have you followed the drive-by gooning?
Drive-by gooning?
You know what gooning is,
Is that
right?
just jerking off?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You haven't followed the drive-by gooning?
No, because like if someone jizzed on me as I'm driving by.
No,
like,
he didn't jizz on people.
Oh.
He was like jerking off in the car.
Oh.
So there's a chain in Arizona. I don't remember what it's called. I wouldn't say the name anyway. It's a coffee shop, right? And the baristas wear bikinis.
Oh.
It's like Hooters, but with coffee,
Yeah,
right?
I've seen that stuff.
Yeah. So I guess it's big down there. I don't know. They don't do it here. So I would never go to an establishment like that. Ever. Ever. Never, ever. And neither should you guys. But so this guy evidently had supposedly been.
Don't go get coffee with hot women and big breasts.
That's right. Never a good idea. It's like can I get a latte with an extra shot of milk? You gotta pay extra for that, sir. But no, so this guy goes, evidently, from what I've heard, he was a problem there because the barista had her phone out waiting for him when he pulled around the corner. So I'll go ahead and play the video for you guys, and well, we'll see.
Hi, how are you? Good. Have you been here before?
Yeah.
Sir, you need to leave. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Call 911.
So pulls up, pants are off, jerking off in the driver's seat. So this guy, this video blew up on social media. This guy's got a wife and kid, kills himself after this video comes out. And it's stay away from the porn, guys. But no, so I mean, it's like, this is like, yeah, he would have been a meme and it would have been shameful and his personal consequences, but it would have been whatever they were. But the fact you killed yourself, dude, you're officially ingrained in the social media hall of fame forever now. You're up there with Harambe at this point.
I'm trying to. I can't feel bad. He was a sexual assaulter.
Yeah, he was a
sexual harassment.
He was a predator. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, no, he was a predator. He needed to go. That's a sick man, is what that is.
He needs help. No.
Well, and like you guys know how I feel about the porn thing. I said that half jokingly, but you guys know how I feel about the porn thing. With that said, there's a lot of people that watch porn that don't do that. So I think it's a lazy excuse to blame that. That's a guy who's got something wrong with his brain.
There's holding your dick as you go get coffee. Yeah,
dude, like take a mental picture of the girl and go home. Like, why do you need to do? Is it that big of a deal that you got to do it right there? Do you see the look on his face when he realized he was caught? Let me play it one more time.
Hi, how are you? Good. Have you been here before?
Yeah.
Sir, you need to leave. Unacceptable. Unacceptable.
He wanted to get out of there so fast.
What's that?
He got out of there so
He knew.
fast. Yeah.
They got him. Doesn't he kind of look like Jaron Dorsey?
In much better shape.
Much better shape.
Much better shape.
Sorry, Jaron, you're not as good a shape as the drive-by gooner. That's okay. Next one. The UNO basketball coach has gone viral on. Did you follow this? On Barstool Sports played this for his unique.
Go Mavericks.
I know. Omaha basketball, college basketball for his unique post-game celebration here. Now, I don't know why he went belt to ass on a trash can.
I don't know. Go Mavericks.
Yeah, you're an alum, aren't you? I'm a dropout, but you finished the deal over there.
I'm alum. I got the degree and everything.
You know what though? It's the school my children will go to because it's the one they get into for free for being Indian. So that's the
phenomenal business program and incredible hockey program. And then everything else is just fun. At least the school has great school colors. I can red and black is a good.
Red and black's a very not like the libertarians in their vests at Yale.
No.
What do they? Where is Yale?
I don't know.
Do they do conventions here?
I don't think so.
Damn it!
Didn't they do? Or was that like a Nebraska one that they did out at the one by Cabela's, that hotel?
Embassy.
Yeah.
When was that?
I had been years ago. I was in college, I think, when that was going.
Oh, I worked at that.
Was
It
that a
wasn't
Yao?
YAL. It was a private organization
Oh.
that I worked for. So that's actually, that company is, to my knowledge, no longer around. I actually started in media making videos for them. So I worked at that event. I was like one of the people. Ron Paul spoke and everything, and of course it was a total disaster because no one came to it until Ron Paul came, and yeah, they didn't sell any tickets, but it was yeah, that was a big deal. That was my only involvement in any type of, but no, I want to go to these conventions and interview these people.
I went to one in Austin.
I don't want to be serious.
No, and what I hate about these conventions so much, and it's the conservative ones. What I hate about them is they want you to wear like a suit.
No, fuck that. I'll wear this.
They always want you to dress super nice. We in a suit. It's like, can we give it a rest? I'm putting on a good shirt and jeans.
Yeah.
And a jacket if it's chilly.
Right.
Like, I'm not. Let's give it a rest with like these suits and everything.
Right. Yeah. Can't we just chill for a little bit, dude? That's my thing. Is it's like I told you I got someone. We won't say any names, but I was reached out to by someone in politics about going to, and it's just. I don't know, man. That's not my vibe. Those are not my people. I don't come from. I'm not a trust fund baby. I'll just be blunt. I'm not a trust fund baby or a sociopath, so I don't have a desire to do that.
A lot of them just so much narcissism within them, and they just want to be the center of everything happening. They'll talk about all the different things they did and how much attention they got from it, rather than like actually talking about what good they've done.
Right.
It's how much attention I got from this event.
Right. It's really.
Like that was saying, it's like, well, we did this event and like it got like all these views and like we got attention. Like the school came down, and so it's like, well, I did this event. We got on our local news. It's like, hey, who actually made a policy change? Who?
You know what the hilarious part is? I bet my video of Dan Osborne moved the needle more than any of them.
But then again, like I was doing this during when it was like big with like Ben Shapiro and free speech on campus. Like,
right.
Obviously, everyone's going viral.
Yeah.
Just because they were pushing it out there. But like it's insane. Like they only cared about like what attention they were getting versus where you actually.
I think I'm gonna start popping out at some of these events. Just every now and then, pop by. Make my presence be known. I mean, I know these people view me as trash. It's fine. It's okay.
It's like, do they understand? It's like you can like still be part of these movements and make a difference, but also contribute to society.
Right. You could do more.
Yeah.
More than that, right? That's maybe I'll start bringing them all on my show. How long do you think that'll last? Or do you think they're finally okay with like the counterculture fringe stuff now? Now that Trump's won, are they a little bit more comfortable coming on a show like mine?
Some are more comfortable with it. I think others still try to play the safe side of it.
They don't want a guy who says faggot and retard through 30 times a show.
Because they still think they can reach to the other side.
No, they can't. Fuck those faggot retards.
Nope.
Yeah, fuck them. Okay, well, we got one more. This is at Burger King. Have you ever been upset at a fast food restaurant?
I mean, yeah, but not to the point where I want to like fight people.
Yeah. Well, this is the first time I've ever seen a video of somebody freaking out in a Burger King that wasn't black. So go ahead. I wonder why these people don't want to come on my show.
The only time I've wanted to like ever fight someone for it is like I've asked for sweet tea at McDonald's.
Yeah.
This is like the third time in a row I've gone to McDonald's after sweet tea and got regular tea. And yeah, I'm gonna fight someone at that point.
So we went after a church thing Tuesday night. We went because Mia really wanted a Coke because she likes that poison syrup they put in it, right? So we go to the drive-thru. I'm not kidding you. We wait for 25 minutes, and had she not been with me, I would have peeled out after 10, right? Because I don't do, even after I paid, take my $2. I don't fucking care. But we get to the window. They give us the drink. As we're pulling away, she goes, "This is Dr. Pepper." And I'm like, you idiots. It took you 25 minutes to get a drink, and you couldn't even get the right one.
Couldn't even get it right.
And you deserve 25. What do they want now? $25 an hour?
They want so much money. It's absolutely pointless.
$25. Yeah. Well, this guy was not as warranted in his concerns. He said the nuggets were too spicy, so he decided to let the Burger King employee hear it.
You are on camera right now?
Get in jail for robbery and stealing stuff. So she needs to get the out of here before I get her put in jail for the rest of her life.
Sir, you were on camera right now?
Before I get
I think that people who make nuggets that are too spicy also deserve to go to jail for the rest of their lives.
The slap.
That was, you heard? That was
Yeah.
violent, dude.
I don't think any people, whenever like working at fast food, deserves any of that hate. I've gotten completely wrong orders at fast food places. And like I went to an Arby's one time, got like a fish sandwich. I don't order fish from fast food. I got it and I go, you know what? Whatever.
Is what it
I'm
is.
gonna eat
Yeah.
it. It is what it is. And people just get so pissed off.
They
at fast food.
freak out. They freak out.
Absolute lunatics.
Well, the thing is, like, dude, like, like what? The guy at Burger King is not all that concerned about Burger King's bottom line, right?
No.
The employee.
No.
If you go up to him and say, hey, man, I got a chicken sandwich and I ordered a Whopper, and you're cool about it, I'd give it a 99.9% chance he swaps it out with no free of charge, right? Might even let you keep the chicken sandwich and take it home to your wife or put it in your fridge or whatever. If you lose it, they're not going to help you. That's how it works. I've driven away from fast food restaurants already having kind of a shitty day, got the wrong thing, they forgot something, whatever. And in my car to myself, I've gone, you fucking retards. Like,
Yeah, I've been like, how hard is it to get a sweet tea?
Yeah, I'll rant to, like, I'll text one of my friends, say that the minimum wage in this country is way too high or something like this.
I said no onions.
Like, I can't wait till the machines take all their jobs,
Right.
like things like that. I will never go in and abuse a fast food employee.
No.
It's not worth my time. They don't deserve it. It's you have got to have so little going on to abuse these customer service employees.
They're working fast food. Like, just let them get the hours done. They want to clock out so fast.
They want to go home.
They want to be out of there.
They certainly don't want to go to prison for the rest of their life.
Also, how weak are you that Burger King's chicken nuggets are too
I know, what a pussy.
soft?
The Burger King nuggets are too spicy.
I'll make you go to jail for the rest of your life. Oh, I'm sorry, your tongue a little too tingly right now? You piece of shit. You
For the rest of your life, you're going to jail for Burger King.
Weak, soft.
What a douche, man.
Jeez, you're softer than toilet paper.
What a douche. All right, stay tuned. We got some more of the woke insanity coming up. We're going to bring